Welcome everybody to episode 187 of
Murder,
the
death, kill.
effing title. He is DeNutte,
That's Husky.
and together, powers combined, we have the powers of Grayskull.
We are Captain Planet.
How you doing?
I'm good, but I think we're both tired
Yeah.
today. Doing this early.
Yep, that's yep. Um, so we were talking about it. We were like, all right, what are we gonna do for 187? Right? Because of course, all these have special meanings. Kind of, not really. But we were like, all right, what are we gonna do this week? And then MagicCon in Barcelona.
Magic. Oh, was it in Barcelona?
Yeah. Now, do you just straight up white person it and just say Barcelona, or do you
Yes.
Barcelona?
It's white person.
The white. Okay. It's in Barcelona. They're still doing it right now. It's actually live on Twitch right now. This is right now for everyone that knows. This is 8:30 in the morning on Sunday. So they're actually live in Twitch doing the Pro Tour in Barcelona, doing Lord of the Rings. So I guess things happening right this second.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Active. Active.
I do. Have you ever
Was
watched
there a
it?
big? What's
I
up?
was gonna say, have you ever watched any of the Pro Tour stuff before?
No.
So sometimes they'll do draft stuff. That's really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm like my brain. I've done a couple drafts. My brain doesn't work that way.
Well, it's cool because if some of the Pro Tour stuff, if you can watch it, and if they're doing the right thing, obviously, they actually have like commentators, and
Yeah.
like you can get it so they're just following one person. So like the commentators are talking through like, well, he's started to draft this, which means that he's going to be solidly into this, but from the way that the cards are coming, the table looks like it might not be there, so he might make a switch early to this other color, and let's see what happens. And oh my god, he didn't do it, and look what just came around, like that sort of thing. It's funny sometimes listening to it because it's like just the different perspectives of how to play the game, sort of thing. And it's wild sometimes because like, you're sitting there like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And he goes on and wins like the whole thing, and it's like, oh, okay. Still don't know what he did, but you know
That and you don't. Do they know what they drafted?
who?
Do they is it what they had drafted? Is that all like a mystery until they play it?
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
like
I
they
didn't know
they
if they
like
called.
they get the cards. I'm not because it's been a while since I've actually watched one, but sometimes they'll put them face down, and like they have to just remember what cards they drafted already. Like they don't
Yeah.
get to like constantly look at them sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where like you kind of have to have a good memory with that shit too, because it's like, you know, suddenly you draft 5 cards or 6 cards, it's the same fucking thing, and it's like, well,
My buddy bought one of the convention packs, and it has a draft booster box in it, and he wants to do a draft out of it.
drafts. I like the draft setting because to me personally, I think it's the most balanced playing field for Magic.
Yeah,
Now, of course, there are people that'll be like, "Well, it's not because So what if someone gets one of the best cards?" I've seen people get like the best card in the set, but then not get anything else.
yeah.
You know, it's like I said, I think it's arguably one of the best ways to like
I
equal out
played
the
a
playing
guy
field.
in a draft, and he had mana. He had put mana in the deck, and he had pulled maybe 2 mana in the entire match. And he was like, I put like 14 mana cards in here. Honestly, he didn't pull a single mana card,
Yeah, it's
and it wasn't his first match either. So it was like literally like it just sometimes that happens.
sometimes pull happens. I mean, like it's funny because like when I'm doing it on Arena, for instance, because I do a lot of draft stuff on Arena. There's a lot of times where it's like I'll lose like 2 games, boom, boom, like solidly lose 2 games, and then go on a streak of like 4 wins, and then lose my last one, or like I'll start off hot and then I'll lose like 3 or 4 in a row, and it's one of those things. It literally is just it's kind of sometimes you get shit on, you know. Sometimes like I've had some before where it's like I draft one card at the very beginning and it's like, all right, I'm gonna build for this. Well, 2 rounds later, and you're on your final pack, and you ain't got shit. The cards weren't there. Nothing you can do about it. And then there's other times where it's just like the cards just constantly keep falling to you. You know. But so they're doing that right now.
Oh, it's funny. I was going through my Xbox games because like over time you accrue so many Xbox games, like a
Yeah.
Steam library. And I had like a Magic game from 2012 that they gave away for free. It
Oh,
was
that's
a
funny.
360 game. So it was Magic 2012, and I was like, oh, let's see if that. I almost downloaded it to play. So I was like, that'd be funny.
That would be funny. That'd be interesting to see what it was like back then, as well.
Yeah.
Because like it's just how wild how much stuff has changed. And speaking of change, that's what we're looking at moving forward. So like I said, MagicCon was this weekend, and the very first thing they did on either Friday or Saturday, I forgot which day it was now, but they did preview panels, sort of thing. So we got some previews of some stuff that's coming down the line. So we're going to be talking about some of this stuff, and we're going to be showing certain stuff every now and then. So the first thing that they announced was the Lost Caverns of Ixalan.
Okay.
It's one of the final sets this year, which I thought was interesting. They started with one of the final sets and then moved back, they jumped around a little bit. So this isn't just returning to Ixalan, but we're traveling underground to discover what dwells inside the world of Ixalan. So I don't know if you've been to the world of Ixalan.
I have not.
So Ixalan is pirates. It is white vampires. It is dinosaurs. It is green and blue merfolk.
Okay.
It's kind of a cool set. It's basically just like a pirate set, a tropical pirate set with dinosaurs. This time around, there's a scramble as the groups race towards the center of Ixalan in a search for a new resource. Here, the Legion of Dusk, and the Legion of Dusk is the white and black vampires, come to face when something with a new group comes to face with something from a new group which they haven't met yet. Once we get past the caves, you see that Ixalan is a hollow world. The core is in the middle, a sun for the inner world of Ixalan. So basically, they're doing like the it sounds like they're doing like the King Kong, Godzilla, Hollow Earth,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Which is a magic hollow earth with all these creatures in it.
Apparently, we get a
Apparently.
first look at Ixalan Angels, which are pretty kind of badass looking. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm going to try and get these on screen so they're not. Oh,
Okay.
they're going to cover DeNutte for a moment. So the wings are inspired by Quetzal or Kukulkan, like that sort of thing. Like very interesting look to them. I dig them, and with the wings having some green and red, I'm wondering if these are going to be green and red angels, which would be kind of cool. So I don't know.
Very
I don't know. I don't know. And people out there can look at this and let us know. I don't know if there are any green angels. I know there's a couple.
Because those would most likely be more like druids.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot. I know there's some red angels that are kind of like slash angels sort of thing, like red, white, or just red. But I don't know if there is any green ones. So, but they are inside the plane, protecting its core. So that's kind of cool that they're in the earth. Huatli is back. Huatli is the is one of the planeswalkers and one of the big legends that we have. She's back.
We have a couple multicolored angels that are green,
Okay, so maybe we will see
but
more
not
then.
like there's or Traxa, the Praetor's voice,
Oh yeah,
protecting their angel. Johor. There's a Phyrexian angel that's multicolored. Um, Gabriel Angel Fire is two green, two white.
okay.
I'm not seeing any pure green.
Pure green, pure green. Well, maybe that's something that they might look at then, because I like one of the things that I found interesting with the set is that they did, like I said, they made vampires primarily white in this set
Interesting.
the first time around, and then they made merfolk. They made a lot of green merfolk. So there's green
So
and
why
blue.
would there be a green angel
So
then?
it would make
Yeah.
sense, and they've done this in the past when you look back at Tarkir. Tarkir was supposed to be the set of dragons, and they made dragons in every color, which was really cool. You know, Huatli's back, and she's
I have
rallying.
still some Tarkir cards I need to throw in. I have a lot of cards I need to start building decks.
It's one of those things. It's the magic kind of curse
Yeah.
There's just so many different things. It's like, yeah, let's just, it's like this, and the next thing you know, it's like, well, I might as well just buy the whole fucking set.
There was like a dragon deck I wanted to build with all the Tarkir cards
Mm-hmm.
and all the dragon cards I have. Sorry, I'm off track, but yeah, I was staring at cards yesterday. I had friends that came over and they saw I have like a whole shelf of Magic cards, and they're like, what do you do with that? I'm like, I play
What do you
it.
do that? I look at them.
Just yellow look at them, and I'm like, here's my One Ring card. It's my most valuable card.
It's my one ring.
My
Uh,
One Ring.
yeah. So Huatli is rallying fighters for a battle at the core for a quote unquote negotiation. Someone asked them if Huatli was a planeswalker still, and they said that in this set she is just a legend. She is not a planeswalker, and that plays into something that they mention later on. As the negotiations are the meeting of the civilization in the center of Ixalan, here's our first look of a dinosaur of theirs, which is kind of wild looking because it's got a little bit of a distinct look to it. This dinosaur does. Hulking raptor. It's like got armor on it and freaking feathers, and it's actually really kind of cool looking. It genuinely has freaking armor on it. This is the first ever God card on Ixalan, first designed and painted by da-da-da. They shared that he had a nickname of Dino Hands. It's an absolutely insane looking Ogier Oxenil, the deepest might. It literally has it has a dinosaur for like an arm, and then like the Balrog flaming freaking sword. This historic references to shape-shifting gods from Mesoamerica, which, like I said, it's, kind of the conquistador, dinosaur, Aztecs, or the Mayans, like that sort of thing. That's the whole set. This is a new civilization of players, but our ancestors to the Sun Empire of Ixalan. So that's kind of a cool way of wording it. So it's new for people that are coming into this. It's new to everyone because it was going under into the Hollow Earth. But at the same time, people will know some of these cards because if they were around when Ixalan was playing. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm staring at these the Wilds of Eldraine cards, and I'm like, oh, you must love these,
Oh, I fucking love it.
especially the anime ones.
I've seen some of the anime ones, and some of them look cool. Some of them I'm like, it's too much. You're doing too much now.
They're like, whoa, these are real thirsty anime cards.
But before we get to Eldraine, let's go to Doctor Who, because Who is going to be Commander only, and that's you. That's your jam, your Jimmy Jam, and you actually bought
I
one
did.
of
I
them,
pre-ordered one.
or did you buy
One of
just one of them? Right?
just one. I'm not even sure which one I pre-ordered.
I was going to say I'm wondering which one because I know they actually go through them, and they actually mention each one and kind of what's in
I
them.
probably ordered another bad one. So
Well, we're gonna find out right now.
sure.
I want to say it was the Blast from the Past. I feel like that sounds familiar.
Yes, that is what I ordered.
All right, so that's the very first one that they talk about on the thread here. How about that?
Oh, sick.
So it discusses the classic Dock deck, as it's known, the classic Dock.
Yeah.
It's helmed by the Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane Smith, and it revolves around the historic mechanic. Here's a look at the Fourth Doctor. So we actually had to look at one of the mainstay cards from the set. It sounds like the Fourth Doctor, Time Lord Wizard. He costs 2 colorless, a green, and a blue. Just trying to get this. Boom. There. Look at that. Now you're on the screen and the card's on the screen. Look at that. Look at me doing the things. So 2 colors, a green and a blue. It's a 4/4, solid, right there. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and then it has the ability of Would You Like a? Once each turn, you may play a historic land or cast a historic spell from the top of your library. When you do, create a food token. Okay, that's kind of an interesting ability.
Yeah, this set seems interesting.
I mean, just that one ability right there sounds, really kind of
Yeah.
And then Sarah Jane's the other massive one in there, and it's she's a doctor's companion. You can have two commanders if the other is a doctor. So I'm assuming then that means you get two commanders, which is kind of cool. Something you're kind of used to now with having the Frodo Samwise deck.
Yeah,
As
I
well.
haven't played it yet.
You haven't played it still?
I still haven't. No, because I just haven't. I've been very busy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like for you and me, our jobs we're getting into a little bit more of the busy time.
Yeah, and I'm on call this week, so like this week was even more. So
Sarah Jane Smith, a colorless and white for 2/1. Whenever you cast a historic spell, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn. So to investigate, create a clue token. It's an artifact. Tap 2, sacrifice, or draw a card. Okay, not terrible. It definitely is leaning heavily on the historic part, which is cool, you know. The TARDIS is a artifact vehicle. 2 for flyer. When the
yeah,
TARDIS
the vehicle seems interesting.
whenever the TARDIS attacks, if you control a Time Lord, the next spell you cast this turn has Cascade, and you may planeswalk. I feel like eventually Commander is going to be too hectic. I feel like, and that's just from someone that's
It already is,
yeah. That's what like. I don't play a whole lot of
especially when
Commander,
you
but
have 4 people playing. It's a lot.
I mean, like,
So
especially think about it like this: when this comes out, right? You could have someone playing Lord of the Rings. You could have someone playing Doctor Who. You could have someone playing Warhammer,
yep,
and then you
it's
could just
all these mechanics that only exist in these
in the
in
one
these decks.
niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
eventually it could be too much. It's cool.
so well, if you think about it, I mean, like like there's a lot of there's a guy we play with, and he just got a second deck, but he'd been playing with the same deck every time we played.
Yeah.
And it's a zombie deck, and we know for sure that when he plays, he has a set of it's a precon too. It's not like he didn't put anything together, but it all meshes well together. He creates zombies, and then he creates flying zombies that every time they attack, they create tokens.
It's. I think I know what card that is as well.
So, and it's like the way the synergy works, he always somehow gets it out.
That's wild.
And it's always like, all right, I'm being attacked by flying zombies this game.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's all these decks have like something that makes it's a lot. So
what is this? City of Death.
do these? What's the planeswalk? They look like they have planeswalk. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah.
because of it being, I didn't bring that one up fully or mention that fully because of it being the TARDIS. They brought Planeswalk back for this set because they thought it would make sense with the TARDIS being able to move and go all over the place. Which it does. I think it makes sense. The next commander deck is Timey Wimey. It's Doctors 9,
name.
10, and 11. The 10th Doctor is kind of wild with the timey-wimey, because timey-wimey taps 7, colorless, time travel 3 times. So, like, right there, we get a time travel mechanic now. For each suspended card you own, and each permanent you control with a time counter on it, you may add or remove a time counter, then do it 2 more times. So time travel just sounds like it's a counter thing. Then.
Remove counters. Let you play with suspend, vanishing, and other fun mechanics across Magic.
I love how they say another fun mechanics. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, right. No.
Alright, then we get Rose.
Filled with Easter eggs and with references to Doctor Who. They'll make fans say, fantastic.
Like Rose Tyler. 1 colorless, 1 white, 2/2. She's a Doctor Companion again. She gets +1/+1 for each time counter on it. And she has Bad Wolf ability. The Bad Wolf ability is whenever she attacks, put a time counter on it for each suspended card you own. And each other permanent you control with a time counter on it. Okay. They're losing me now.
A lot of these special cards is showing all the extended art. Like they just feel lazy because it's just like it's literally some of the extended cards just change a little bit, but these are just like straight up. And then I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean
Paradox Power is the next one.
Um,
The 13th Doctor.
yep. So the 13th Doctor it was the first female Doctor.
I like that actor.
Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. At the beginning of your end step, untap each creature with a counter on it. That's kind of oh Jesus. That's gonna be strong. Alien Zombie Soldier is a creature type we have from this set now.
Green.
Time
Yeah.
for the greatest villains deck. Oh boy. The Dalek Creator. Dalek's a 3/3 tokens with menace. That is a menace right there. Alien Scientist, at the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 Dalek artifact creature token with menace if an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn. Then each opponent who lost 3 or more life this turn faces a villainous choice. You draw a card, or that player discards a card. That's kind of fucking mean. I like it. It's fucking mean though. What the hell is this? So this card is Exterminate. Exterminate! Yo, that's mean. So it's a normal magic black kill card. It costs 3 total.
Yeah.
Destroy target creature. But then also has its controller loses 3 life. But then it
That's
also has Replicate.
Yeah.
And Replicate is tap an untapped Dalek you control. Whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each time you paid its Replicate cost.
This one is looking like it's already the strongest.
I was gonna say, depending on how many Daleks you have out in the field,
Yeah.
you can
Because
basically
then
just
you
board
have.
wipe
I'm
someone.
looking at the next card, Missy.
Alright,
Whenever another on-target creature dies, turn it to the battlefield under your control, face down, and tapped. It's a 2/2 Cyberman artifact creature. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent faces a villainous choice. Each artifact creature you control deals 1 damage to that opponent, or you draw a card. Chaos ensues.
I do kind of like this villainous choice thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the Veil Yard, which is the final big boy, it looks like, in this. And all it has is one thing. If an opponent would face a villainous choice, they face that choice an additional time. While voting, you may vote an additional time. That part is kind of broken.
A lot of those ones seem like they would be out of what's the goof deck?
Oh, the
Unfinity.
Yeah, the Unfinity. I was gonna say just the Unseries.
Because these see like Unfinity stuff that's like no.
Yeah. What do you think of the showcase? What do you think of the look of the showcase cards?
I really like the showcase cards. I wanted to bring that up after. Yeah, so I like the showcase cards. It's interesting that they're going to do serialized cards again, but it makes sense obviously. They keep doing it.
I mean, there's an easy way for them to just fucking say that this is the reason why they cost this much is because
which they're going for 30 right now on Amazon.
Yeah.
I actually I like all of them. I think they're actually all really cool.
It is interesting to see that they kind of all have the TARDIS look.
Yes.
I like that because it's like it makes it unique for this set, but then also it doesn't make it too ridiculous. Because like if they tried to do stuff that was for each individual,
it's interesting the different art styles they used.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all the same art style.
Which you kind of see with the Doctors here that I got up on the screen.
Well, the Doctors are the similar art style, but then like the companions are a completely different art style. Well, 2 of them are. One of them's. Oh, where the companions are different, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I do like that the TARDIS looks like it's just straight up like the TARDIS. Like it follows into the showcase of the card almost.
Yeah.
I just think this is a kind of an interesting set with it being
If you're a Doctor Who fan, I mean,
yeah, exactly. With you being Doctor Who, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you're gonna love it. I just thought it was interesting for the fact that it's a commander set, but they're making collector boosters. So like you don't even need to buy.
because it's just going to be the same cards.
Yeah,
That's like the interesting thing. It's just going to be the same cards.
yeah. So like for someone like me that isn't a huge commander player, it's still a
Yeah,
way for me to get commander without or get these cards without actually buying it.
yeah.
So what is
So,
we, we will be doing serialized versions of the doctors. So it's just the doctors. With serialized numbers from 501 to 513, matching each specific doctor. So it's 500 plus the doctor's number. So that's kind of cool.
are they going to do Is it every Doctor?
So it's doing all the doctors that are out there. So like for the 10th Doctor, there's 510. But for
No,
the
but I mean, are they doing? They don't show all the Doctors, but are they doing like the
from
1 through 13?
from what I remember, the first time that they did this, which was
Yeah.
in Vegas, I think it was Vegas MagicCon. They said that they were doing all of the doctors, so like all the
Okay.
doctors would be in this, but they're only showing a couple of them to they're showing kind of the hype ones to get you kind of going.
Yeah. Well known.
Yes, and
Especially
then
well known.
the one that I'm really excited for is Eldraine. So for everyone that doesn't know, Eldraine is going to be the next set that is coming out, and it is we are going back to Eldraine. And for people that don't know what Eldraine is the fairy tale world for Magic the Gathering, which is really exciting for me because I love that shit. I love the look, dude. So many of the cards just look fucking awesome. Like for instance,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show the one that's on like the main packaging for everything right now. I'm just gonna cover you up for a moment. Like, look at this. This is Wilds of Eldraine right there. It's backwards for everyone because I DeNutte is flipped, but still, you guys see it. It looks fucking awesome. I am big excited for this set. So we're going to see Eldraine after the Phyrexian War, and that's the other really big part with this, is it's literally right after the Phyrexian War. So they're still dealing with all of that shit. One of the biggest being the Wicked Slumber, meant to defend Eldraine, is now taking over the plane. It's the perfect ground for Ashiok to appear, and this is where the Planeswalker thing comes in. Last time we hinted at wilds outside of the Kingdom of Eldraine, but this set is named Wilds of Eldraine because we're going to be exploring much more and less of the courts on Eldraine. The visit delves much heavier into the fairy tales and less into the Arthurian legend. So last time it was kind of a little bit more about Arthurian legend, it sounds like, and this time we're actually going straight to just the fairy tales. Fairy tales are so important, the 10 two-colored draft archetypes are built around different fairy tales. That's very exciting. And we actually get a little hint of them a little bit later. Mark notes that where Eldraine had a theme for both artifacts and enchantments, this time it tends to be heavier on enchantments. We love seeing the landscape of this world, venture into the wilds. Some of the fucking cards they have for this, like this one, the Solitary Sanctuary, the blue castle. It looks absolutely insane for a card.
I'm loving the Forbidden Butthole.
The Forbidden Butthole.
Yep.
How
You scroll on that page.
I was going to say, how far down did you just go? Jesus.
Not too much. Yeah, midway. It's above the lands.
Above the lands, above the lands, above the lands, above the lands. Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah. Let me get this up. So this is the first look at one of the dual lands. Restless Fortress. Okay, now I see the bow. Now I see it. A new dual land cycle of creature lands will be coming to this set with 5 enemy color pairs. So this is kind of the first one they released was Restless Fortress, and as battlefield tap, you can add a white or black. 2 colors, white, black. It becomes a 1/4 white and black nightmare creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Whenever it attacks, defending player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's kind of a nice. That's a solid little fucking fun card right there.
Because even if it attacks, and you lose it, it still turns back into a land. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very, very, very. I dig it. I dig it.
Because you can attack and that you could just keep attacking with it.
So if it does die, it dies though. Remember that.
Does it?
Yep. Because at that point it becomes a creature until end of turn. It's still technically a land, so it's a land creature. But
Does it though? I don't know. I feel my interpretation of that is that it would turn back into a land.
it might. I'm not 100% sure now that you're saying that, because now I'm not sure. Because I
I
think
could be completely wrong.
yeah. Someone will let us know. Someone will tell us otherwise.
Someone tell me I'm dumb.
Now for the discussion about the Wicked Slumber. We're going to see a world dealing with the magical malady, but also the fallout of war. So the Wicked Slumber, if I remember correctly, in most fairy tale sort of things, Wicked Slumber is like the eternal sleep. Just like the random sleep that, with magic that happens. His Talion, the Kindly Lord. The first of the creatures we're going to take a look at here. It's a fairy noble. 2 colorless, a blue and a black, flying. When it enters battlefield, choose a number between 1 and 10.
6.
So whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value, power, or toughness equal to the chosen number, that player loses 2 life. That's kind of nice. And kind of dirty. I love the artwork for it. For both versions of it. Because on here they show both.
See, that's what I mean. Like that border list, it's different.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, I thought it's Italian, the kinky lord at once for a second.
Hey, yo. I mean, hey, maybe he is a kinky lord. I mean, who knows? So now we're going to get into a couple of the beginnings of kind of the hinting and teasing us at some of the 3 witch sisters, as they're wording them. So here's the first. Let me make sure. Yep. All right. There. It says the first one, Hydla, Hylda. Wonder how you would. Hilda. Hilda the Icy Crowns. This is the first of them. So the white-blue color pair is about Snow White. The artwork looks incredible for this one. Kind of just, the Icy Queen sort of thing. Is the way that it looks to me anyway. And I fucking love the look of it. Then we go to Agatha. The Vile Cauldron. Kind of looks like Vraska, to an extent. Black-green color pair, based off of the Hansel and Gretel archetype. Which is nice. And then the final one, and probably the main one that I'm going to be doing, is Arita of the Charmed Apple. Black-white, based off of the classic Snow White storytale yet again. Love the look of all these cards. They look fucking awesome. And then we get the first look at the Planeswalker of the set, which I said earlier. It is Ashiok, the Wicked Manipulator. Kind of a lot going on with this Ashiok card. Kind of a lot going on.
Yeah.
3 colorless, 2 black. For a 5 start. If you would pay life while your library has at least that many cards in it, exile that many cards from the top of your library instead. That's just a base ability, guys. That isn't a plus or minus. That's just a base ability on it. +1, look at the top 2 cards of your library, exile one of them, and put the other one into your hand. Okay. -2, create 2 1/1 Black Nightmare creature tokens with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if a card was put into exile this turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. -7, target player exiles the top X cards of their library, where X is the total mana value of cards you own in exile. So a lot of exiling for this card. It'll be interesting to see how people play it, because I'm not 100. I mean, when there are some cards here that I'll show in a little bit because I've seen them before. I don't know if you've seen them because I don't know if you've seen a lot of Eldraine cards. That some of the Eldraine cards have a like the creatures, for instance. Some of them have fairy tales or adventures tagged onto them. So it's like you could play that part of it, and then the card goes into exile. And while the card's in exile, then you can bring it back for its creature cost, like that sort of thing. So that'd be interesting to see. And the
Yeah.
big thing that they announced was that characters sort of this. You will see other characters who were planeswalkers but have been desparked. Mark and Gavin discussed the philosophy for planeswalkers going forward, and Mark confirms the general intent is that there will only be one planeswalker per set, which is kind of a cool thing moving forward. Meet Kellyan. Kellyan is keep an eye on him. This kid is going places, so probably some kid that they were going to bring in as a new legend or potential planeswalker maybe down the line. Will and Rowan are back. They've both been desparked, and they're both going down different paths after the Phyrexian War. Will, son of Peace, looks very much like he's about to take up arms and be a member of Snow White's army, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then Rowan just kind of looks like a badass. She's just got freaking the lightning out there, or the sparks out there, and yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's going on with those two, but
They look like they're gonna kill people
yeah,
for love.
for love.
They're good.
Tough Cookie food is back in this set. So we're actually getting like for the people who love the food tokens and the food golems, aka just gingerbread men. Tough Cookie is an artifact creature food golem. One colorless, one green for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. Target non-artifact creature you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature. Sacrifice this guy. Sacrifice Tough Cookie to gain 2 life. So a lot going on there. Little Red Riding Hood is getting a card. What? It's fucking awesome looking. Ruby, the Daring Tracker. It's our take on that, which is red-green archetype. Makes sense. Makes sense. Red-green is also a big werewolf, right? So it makes sense that Red Riding Hood would be that. This chick is fighting a gummy worm.
Oh.
Yeah, this chick's literally fighting a gummy worm. Greta is our
You look
take
at
on
the
Gretel.
forbidden butthole. There's gummy worms coming out of the donut.
Interesting. A Veldekin on Eldraine? It's more than you think. Troyon is our Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk, the green-blue color pair. See, I'm very excited to learn more. I want to see more of this. More of... No, when I say of this, I mean, like, I just want to see cards now. Because it's just this whole... fucking... what am I trying to say here, DeNutte? The color pairings are very interesting.
Okay. Yes.
So here is a look at the adventure thing that I was talking about. So Adventures Return. So Cruel Sonophage. So they're returning, but now some of them are now multicolor. So the sorcery adventure part of this, right, is blue. Target player moves 4 cards. Just a normal blue card. Then exile this card. You may cast the creature later, so you just exile it, and then you can play the creature part of it whenever the fuck you want. So that will be how you can get the most bang for your buck with Ashiok. Excuse me, sir. For Ashiok, that's how you can get the most bang for your buck, is with this adventure thing. And I kind of like
Definitely
that.
have it with, I mean, like, with that Planeswalker, you know, actually, no, this Graveyard, not exile. Take it back. So, I mean, that's good black stuff. You know, I mean, if you're cycling cards into your graveyard.
Exactly. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. He discusses a special bonus sheet of cards for Eldraine. Won't explain
I mean,
how or any of that, but he just says exciting. Blah blah blah. They're bringing back a bunch of they're bringing back a bunch of the Enchanting Tales bonus sheet means one of them is guaranteed in every draft booster, and what it is it's the reprinting of enchantments, and they're reprinting a bunch of very staple enchantments for this set, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, like, we're getting another doubling season, and we've gotten about 20 doubling seasons. I guess so many other cards they could have done. Instead, they just did another fucking one of those. Yeah, so this whole set, and like DeNutte was saying, we are getting a bunch of anime look inspired cards from this set too, as you can
I
see
really
here.
like this Mother and Tiff.
Yep.
That's like one that I like. Uh, it's not listed on this one, but the Smother and Tith anime version,
Yeah.
that one's like real thirsty, real cat lady thirsty.
Oh yeah.
She's even like licking her hand.
Um, I I like the look of it, man. I think the Eldraine is gonna be fun. Um, I'm not
The anime
100%
doubling season looks pretty good though.
with the goose.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this set's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for this. Um, I was already excited anyway because this is my first true time in Eldraine. I've played a couple of the cards from the set, but I haven't actually like truly played Eldraine before, so it'll be fun. Now actually getting to fully play Eldraine. I don't know what you think about it,
Seems
or
pretty good. Ristic Study seems like a good reprint. So I was reading that, and that seems like a pretty good card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays one.
okay, okay,
Yeah, so it's just awesome draw card. Uh, I mean, like I'm looking at, I mean that card's going for, and old cards are going for anywhere from like 38 to 50.
yeah. Well, and it's one of those
So
things. Sometimes they do the reprints to try to lower the prices of those other ones,
yeah, yeah.
and it never fucking works. They all just the new cards just go straight up
The
to the
new card
same.
just goes straight up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight to that value. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah. I'm intrigued. Yeah, like I said, I think, and like if I remember correctly, let me bring this back up. Wilds of Eldraine. When does Wilds of Eldraine come out? That was the question. September 8th is when Wilds of Eldraine comes out. So we got about a good full month ahead of us. So a full month ahead of us for this, and then when does the Doctor Who stuff come out? The Doctor Who stuff comes out on October 13th.
Months. You know, every once in a while, it's still funny. I every once in a while I'll go on and I'll check how much the One Ring card I got is worth, and I'm just like, should I sell it?
Yeah,
I'm still
right.
like on the. I'm just like I should just sell it.
I think about that sometimes with one that I have, with the human ring that I have, and I'm just like, no.
No, I mean that's a cool card. That's a really cool card.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I could buy more from the more Lord of the Rings collector boosters. It's just
It can't justify it. I got especially because I got one and it had nothing in it, and I'm
yeah.
like, boy,
Yeah, you can get a collector boost where like you get like because like for instance I got Orcish Bowmaster, which is a solid staple card right now.
yeah,
And I got the Halfling Delight or whatever the fuck it's called there, which is like a
blooded
$15
halfling,
card.
yeah,
Yeah, and then I got the human ring. I'm sitting there. It's like I've pulled I had three collector boosters, and I got three of the like I got one of the best cards that are money wise, and then two of the best cards in the set. It's like I'm like my luck's fucked at this point. Like I ain't getting nothing
yeah.
now, you know.
You
But
got two Ragavans.
yeah,
I think you're
exactly.
just lucky.
I mean, maybe we'll find out. I just
Yeah.
I'm about to pull the trigger on where is it? The Brothers War gift bundle.
Okay.
Yep, because I never bought that one. Surprisingly enough, as much as I loved Brothers War and was really excited about Brothers War, I never bought the bundle for it. So,
Is it on sale?
no, it's $45.
No. Oh, well, I
But
mean,
was it's
that's still cheaper than
yeah.
all over Lord of the Rings stuff.
Well, that's the thing is like it's cheaper than the Lord of the Rings stuff, and I get a collector booster with the gift bundle. So,
And you get Transformer stuff.
yep,
Yep.
I've heard that they are more than meets the eye.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I got that, and then I got a kind of switching gears, but not really because I'm not gonna. Magic Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Paldea Evolved Trainer Box.
I just found out this week that Wizards of the Coast originally printed Magic cards. I mean, Pokemon cards in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from like '96 to 2003.
Interesting.
Because I was looking, I look at Marketplace, and then just like an original Pokemon booster showed up
Yeah.
from like the first set, and it was a lot. I don't remember how much it was, but then they showed the back, and it said Wizards of the Coast, and I was like, huh. So then I looked into it, and I did it for, yeah, I think '96 to 2003 or '98 to 2003, one of those.
Something like that.
And then the Pokemon Company wanted more control over their cards.
That makes sense.
Makes
That makes
sense, and they became so big that they can just do it all themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I saw that. I thought it'd be kind of a cool video to do. I've never actually done a Pokemon box opening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I might do that. But, you know, as of right now, though, Lord of the Rings wise, I got that Brothers War 1. Brothers War, Phyrexia, all will be one bundle, and Strixhaven bundle. Those are the next three I think I'm going to get from the old stuff that I just never bought when it came out.
I really like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. My buddy just texted me, he said he picked up some lands, and I'm like, I just love those cards so much.
The Dungeons and Dragons set was kind of interesting. I liked some of the cards. I liked the dungeon aspect of it, like travel into the dungeon and then it just fucking go through it. I thought that was kind of cool. The rolling the dice, nice little shit, you know. Nice. I like sets that do things like that. That like fully embrace the set, right? But
Yeah.
then don't go so far out of the. It doesn't feel like Magic anymore, sort of thing.
I'm surprised that wasn't like a bigger set, considering that it's the same company.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like it's the fan base, right? Where like
Yeah.
Dungeons, like because they also have Magic characters in Dungeons and Dragons now.
Yeah.
So, but I also do know, I think, if I remember correctly, the last time I looked at, I'll look at it real quick right now. The last time I looked at the Dungeons and Dragons set on, at least on Amazon, it's a pretty penny still.
Yeah. I mean, the lands I got a good deal on them. I checked them on CCG after, and I'm like, oof, got a good deal on these.
Yeah, so as of right this second, right now, the Forgotten Realms bundle, which is 10 packs, is $60 for the bundle. The gift bundle, which gives you a collector booster, is $75. And then, of course, then they did the Battle for Baldur's Gate, which is also Dungeons & Dragons, and that's $52. So, on the more expensive side of the bundles, the Thrones of Eldraine is still $45, which is nice because I already pre-ordered that. Well, how much was it when I pre-ordered it though? Oh, $41. All right, cool. Yes, that's MagicCon. That was what we saw at MagicCon this weekend for previews. Like I said, I'm excited for Eldraine. I'm not massively excited for Doctor Who, but that's because I'm not massively a Commander player, so or a Doctor Who fan.
Sacrilegious to your country, dog.
I know. It's funny because I was talking to one of my cousins from over there, and my uncle, her dad, and her like love Doctor Who,
Yeah.
And she was like, she was like, I can't wait for you to open some of those cards so I can see, like, and I'm sitting there like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck it is, like, but it's cool that, like,
I don't know anyone that's like. I know one person that's super into Doctor Who. She has like a whole thigh Doctor Who piece tattoo, and I'm like, I don't. Other than that, I don't know anyone that's like into Doctor Who around here.
yeah, I tried, couldn't do it, you know.
I watched it. So I threw it on Netflix a couple times, and I was like, let's give it a try. And I'm like, oh boy, is this like the cheesiest of soap operas? It's like a. I'm like, when's the porn start? That's like how bad. Like when do they start fucking?
This is very much. This is really close to porn music, but just
Yeah,
enough
maybe
so it isn't.
they've upped the quality over the last couple of years, but I was watching stuff from like the 2000s, and I was like, oh boy.
Oh yeah, well, like the wild thing is like my mom and my uncle over there used to say about how they watched it when they were kids, and like the Daleks for the first time, like seeing them, like they would like hide behind the couch because like it was like black and white TV, fucking
Yeah,
giant roll, exterminate, exterminate, Yeah, they were kids. They were fucking terrified of that shit, And it's a funny thing about it because it's like, I think about my uncle and it's like, you puss, hiding behind a couch
babies.
because that. And then I think back and it's like, I was a puss when the Velociraptors came on Jurassic
Yeah,
Park.
I remember I was scared of Titanic. I was talking about this the other day at flashbacks. You ever see the Titanic?
Mm-hmm.
When they were going to the machine, like the elevator, not the elevator, the engine room, and it had all the things whirring around.
Oh yeah,
For some reason that scared me. I was like, "There's so much going on."
yeah. I asked my dad to like we went to go watch Men in Black when it first came out, and like I asked him like we left the movie theater.
Oh,
Yeah, like right after the first like beginning part where like the alien freaks out and is like running at yeah, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I was like, now we need to leave.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's my thing is like it's kind of I think it's a nice big set for it's a big enough name for them to do Commander for, and I understand why they're probably not doing a full set. It'll be interesting, and I know we've had this discussion before, what the next big set for Universe Beyond will be. Because I think they might eventually shoot themselves in the foot doing a Commander and then a big set. Because you gotta have enough material to do a big set.
yeah.
And
And like Warhammer, I'm still surprised they didn't because there's like of all these things, Warhammer probably has the most lore.
I was gonna say
think.
I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we do get it.
Yeah,
Because there's still a lot that they could do.
I mean Warhammer, you could do anything.
Yeah.
You can make up something, and they'll be like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks."
Yeah, right. And then, like, the other thing is just there's so many companies now these days that are doing their own card game. I mean, by the end of the year, we will probably be talking about it, and fuck knowing us, we'll probably own some of it. Disney's doing their own fucking card game called Lorcana.
Yeah. He's still funny. I've not seen anything for it other than what you've said.
Yeah, it's because it's tracking very poorly right now.
Yeah.
But all right, everyone, let us know what you guys think of the newest news with Magic that we just dropped. Previews of some of the sets, what you guys think you would like to see in some of these sets, what you guys would like to see coming down the line. And, yeah. You got any final words there, sir?
Clip your toenails. I don't know.
Don't wipe before you poop.
Don't unless you want it to tickle it a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, still drums. Stay safe. We're probably going to go back to bed.
Probably.
Bye.
Bye.